Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Ed from Ed Travels, coming at you with another video today. And today my video is about traveling with racism, or taking racist ideas or preconceived notions with you. I'll be right back. Hey, this is Ed with Ed Travels. Thank you so much for joining me. I decided to do this video today concerning traveling and dealing with racism. I've seen a couple of videos online where people have made really general blanket statements like, I'm not going to travel to Europe, for instance, for example, because of racism. And I'm assuming for some of these people, they've never been there before. So they're basing this based upon what they've seen online, social media, the news media, or whatever. So they're saying, I'm not gonna go there because they're racist. Or because they stole artifacts, or because they were racist in their past. Well, I would sit back and offer the fact, number one, leave the US. Pack up and leave the US right now. If you don't wanna go to a country that's racist. You're living in one. And we don't have to go into the history of the United States and racism, even for 400 or 500 years ago, even to how it still continues today. So that's my first point. Secondly, when you get on that flight and you get your boarding pass and you get your ticket, don't pack your racism with you, especially if you've never been there. How do you know? I remember being in Portugal and having this white couple stare at me to the point that I just walked over and I said, what's up? Why y'all staring at me? And the lady was so nice. She said, well, I'm sorry that we were staring. She said, but I'm so used to seeing black women. This was several years ago. Black women travel. It's very rare that I see, like a single solo black man travel. She was curious, where you from? What's your name? How do you like Portugal? I sat down with her and her husband. They were from Oslo, Norway. We had dinner, drank a couple glasses of wine, exchanged information, still talk to them to this day, because I'm hoping to go to Norway. So, you're walking around with a racial chip on your shoulder before you go. This one particular young lady said, well, I'm not gonna go to Italy because my mom can make me spaghetti here. That is one of the silliest things that I've ever heard. So you don't care, you don't know about the Renaissance, or Michelangelo, or Leonardo da Vinci. You want to see the statue David, or go to Vatican City and see St. Peter's Basilica, or the roof, or the ceiling of the 16th chapel, and all about the fabulous food all over this beautiful country, the history, the culture. It's all about what you heard. Secondly, people are going looking for it. If you go looking for racism or perceived slights, then you'll find it. I've lived in Cambodia now for 6 years. And one question I always get asked is, well, how racist are they over there? And I always give the same answer. The only racism I've really experienced in Cambodia has been other people from the West and Australia. I gotta add them in. From westernized countries that bring it with them. The locals in Cambodia, in Khmer, the word for a foreigner is barang. You're a barang. They don't differentiate whether you're an Asian barang, or whether you're a black, white, Hispanic barang. You're just not Khmer. And a lot of the stares that you get are curiosity. Now, I'm not saying that racism doesn't exist around the world, because back to Cambodia, in full transparency, if you are an African from the continent, you are a passport holder of an African country, you're probably gonna get some problems at immigration coming into Cambodia, and Vietnam, Thailand, Laos, a lot of those Southeastern Asian countries. You know why? because the reputation of Africans, especially Nigerians, no knock to my Nigerian brothers and sisters, is the fact that in the media in those countries, the people that they arrest and parade around are Nigerians and Africans doing scams, scamming people out of money. So that group of people has earned fairly or unfairly, that's not for me to say, but they have been labeled as possible scammers. So they're going to get the business when it comes to immigration. Right, wrong, or indifferent, that's how it works. And for those people that don't know, most countries, you need a visa to enter that country. Whether America has already worked out a deal that you automatically get 30, 60, 90 days because you've got a U.S. passport and a prearranged deal, or whether you have to apply for a visa before you come, or you can get a visa on arrival. I'm going to do a whole video on that. Is that country is saying, we're allowing you to visit our country. So they can do what they want. Same thing the United States does. Look at our southern borders. You talking about racism. When somebody travels in and they're coming in from Colombia, Argentina, one of these countries that's known for the narcotics trade, you don't think that they're looked and double checked twice? And that leads me to the point when it goes back to this whole passport bros and travel movement about how some people here in the West have attacked these foreign countries and the women in those foreign countries. Dirtfoot, ignorant, uneducated, can't speak English. For no reason. Those people did nothing to you. But you attacked them. You went on social media and you attacked them. And without realizing that social media is global, they get to see your TikTok too, or your Facebook or your YouTube. So now, if you're a black woman or black man that's attacked that country and you come into that country, you think they're gonna greet you with open arms? You played a role in that. I'm not excusing racism because it happens everywhere. And for the people that say, well, go to the continent, go to Africa, you ain't got to deal with it. I was born in Uganda. Trust me. You have Africans that can't stand black Americans. You know, all of this FBA stuff. And, you know, I got attacked because I made a comment on Facebook about a basketball post. And this brother just attacked me. Well, you're not a fundamental black American because of my last name. Y'all need to stay out of our business, blah, blah, blah. So are you the one really perpetuating the racism? And you're just looking for an excuse to blame how you're being mistreated. Or maybe you need to look at your behavior. Are you being a good global citizen? Are you behaving yourself when you go to that country? Or are you walking around with your fist balled up, looking to be slighted? Again, I live in a country where there are not that many black people. And I have been treated with nothing but love, respect, and welcome by the Khmer people. And any sort of racism, discrimination I've gotten has been from people from the West, where it's a lot more prevalent. So if you don't want to travel to a country because it's racist, then leave America. Real talk. Because I think that's a silly reason for you to miss out on what this whole world has to offer. There is no utopia. There is no perfect country that you're going to go to. But if you're afraid to get out of your comfort zone and are willing to listen to what the media tells you or what somebody else's experience is, there's nothing more meaningful than going to see for yourself. And if you don't like it, guess what? Don't go back. And more importantly, they don't care if you don't come. Your tourist dollars are not going to affect their bottom line. I traveled to Portugal, of all countries, one of the countries in Europe that had the biggest part in the slave trade. I went to a slave market in Lagos, Portugal. That was an emotional experience. But I also found out that Portugal was ruled by the African Moors for almost over 400 years. There was a lot of Moorish and black African history in Portugal. So there's a little bit of nuggets of gold to be found in these countries. You just have to open your mind. Book that flight and go see. This is Ed from Ed Travels. Please like, click, and subscribe. Thank you so much for your continued love and support. Shout out to all my friends, and on this video to my man, Mulatto Vanguard. Much love, Pooh Man. Rice Patty Reasons. You know, Kevin 3905. Thank you so much for your love and support. And remember, catch flights, not feelings. This is Ed from Ed Travels. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.